You do not have to be an entrepreneur. I know. Half the internet is telling you that 9 to 5 is a trap. You don't get freedom of your time and all of that. Yes, I know. Today's letter is from someone who basically was probably from that school of thought and believed that the only way to build freedom for themselves is through entrepreneurship. And all maybe they dreamed about was being their own boss, but right now they are so stressed. This is Hello Misola, and you're welcome to another episode. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying that I do not think or believe that entrepreneurship is the way. I am an entrepreneur at heart. There is nothing anybody is going to tell me. I intend to retire from 9 to 5 and go full into business when the business is ready for that type of transition. But yeah, it's not for everybody. I belong to that school of thought as well. Anyway, let us read today's letter. Hello, Misola. For years, I dreamed of becoming my own boss. I wanted freedom. I wanted flexibility. I wanted to build something for myself. But now that I've started my business, I feel more stressed than I ever did in employment. The income is unpredictable, the responsibility never ends, and switching up feels impossible. Beginning to wonder if I was chasing an idea instead of reality. Is entrepreneurship really for everyone, or is it okay to admit that a job might actually suit some people better? So let me be real with you. There are two sides of the pendulum. Before I even talk about what's in my script or in my head, there is a phase of entrepreneurship that looks like this. And almost everybody that is a successful business person would tell you that they went through a phase where they were their own marketing team, they were their own admin team, they were their strategists, they were everything, all hats in one. There is that phase. There is that phase where it feels like there is no switch off button except you outsource. But most people, realistically, who are just starting a business cannot really outsource. So, what are we talking about here? You're just describing the typical life of an entrepreneur. And so you have two options. If it's too much, there is no point staying in something that is too much. You can find a job today and close it down. But if you're like, I want to see this to the end, you can see this to the end. Honestly, there are two sides to this thing. I say this because I've been there. There were times when I was staying awake till like 4 trying to work on my sales funnels and all of that. Now, I don't want to do that because I feel like personally that time is sacred for me. That's the time I want to be able to pray and study and fellowship, my personal quiet time. These things happen. You have to make up your mind and decide what it is that you want to be doing. If it's too much for you, that is okay. Just brush your CV and start applying for roles. But don't just apply for any role. If you have decided that it's not for you, apply for the high income earning jobs or what do you say? The jobs that pay well, good money. Apply for those jobs. So see if you need to upskill or if you already have the skill, then you go ahead and start applying for those jobs. And it might not mean that that's the end. Because I tell you what, you can't decide that, listen, I probably need a break. And that is what I did anyway. Before I shut down my business, I was like, I need to go back to 9 to 5. This is too much. So it's up to you. I think we've moved on to the practical steps. So let me talk about the practical steps and then we can maybe come back and look at the kingdom perspective here. So number one, decide what it is that you want to do. That's a decision only you can make. I get it. It's really tough. It's really difficult, which is why I'm telling you that you don't have to be an entrepreneur. But I would not be fooling myself if I told you that could it be that you're giving up too soon? Because that's just typical entrepreneurial phase. You go through that phase. If you can afford to outsource it, outsource it. But more specifically, if you can maybe tell me what exactly the challenge is or the issue is, then yeah, we can prefer solutions, because sometimes what you just need is you just need a third pair of eyes to look at your blind spots and it would help you. But yes, so first of all, step one, make up your mind and say, this is what I want to do, or this is not what I want to do. If this is what you want to do, then we're going to move on to the next step. But if you've decided that, no, listen, I think I need to go back and apply for a job, then let's move on to step two. Step two, if you've decided that, listen, this is what I want to do, I am of the opinion that you should have a job while you started your business. I don't want you to go cold turkey. And there are people that have done that, absolutely. There are people that have, decided that I am going to go all in, and in 6 months, in 4 months, it worked out for them. I don't know. I can't predict it, but I'm not trying to play safe, but I also understand the fact that I am an immigrant. I don't have, my parents are not living down the street that I can pack up. And I've got kids, I've got mouth to feed, right? We're a family. So I don't need a safety net, but I need to be strategic and think with sense. My kids do not care that I want to start a business and I want to change my life. They just need to be fed, and they just need a warm bed, a warm house to sleep in. So I would say that find a job. If that's what you've decided to do, find a job. And if you have decided that I'm going to close it down, don't just find a job that is going to just give you consistent income, because I classify jobs in two ways, in two sections. There is the job where you just find anything so that consistent income is coming in. It might not necessarily be tied to purpose. You just want to be able to keep a roof over your head. And if things have gotten that bad that you are at that point, then please take anything that comes. As long as it's legit, it's a job and you're getting paid. But if you have decided that, listen, I'm going back to 9 to 5 full time, then take the time to find a job that is worth your while, that would pay you and reward you well. So do you need to upskill? Do you need to transition into another industry? Whatever it is that you need to do, start doing that now so that you can switch paths, basically. None is wrong. You are the one that will decide what the path is for you. Then, if you have decided that I'm not closing the business, which is the path that I would like, I am not closing the business, or I would recommend, but I don't know your personal circumstances. So filter this with your personal circumstance. What's going on with you? So this is the path I would recommend, where you're like, okay, I am not going to close the business down, but I probably need income coming in. So I'm going to go back and find a job. Then you don't necessarily have to find a job that is paying you well, like upskilling and all of that. Although the higher the pay, the better anyway. So you can just find something that would be able to, so you calculate how much is it you need to survive by on a monthly basis, and find a job that would pay you that. But if you can find more because you already have the skill and all of that, go for it. The more money, the better. So that is the path that I would encourage. And so bearing that in mind, if you've decided that I'm not closing the business, I want to look for a job, or I'm not closing the business, I want to make sure that it works. Let us now move on to the third step. And that third step is about you looking into your business. Now you need to review what your product you're selling or what your offer is. I'm putting on my business coach hat, business coaching hat here. Review that offer. Is it actually serving a problem? Because we need to understand, what is the challenge? Why is it stressing you out? Is it that something is not working, or is it that it's just too much? Now, for us to be able to do that, review everything. Just go back and review everything. Is the offer serving your ideal people? Is it something they want? Then that's fine. If that's what they want, then you now need to be very consistent with your marketing strategy, because that is what will make you visible. Your people cannot buy from you if they don't know that you exist, if they don't know that you're there. So that is the next step for you, to do that. And then once you're doing that, you sell that thing, offer that solution to them. And so if that is the thing you're looking at, because that's it, simple. You just keep going until they buy. Keep talking to your people about it. Use your marketing strategy and they would buy it at some point. You have no control of when, but you have control of what you do to make sure that you're consistently visible. Now, if the other side is like, oh, this thing is really stressful because there's so much to do, like I'm just one person, consistently show up and do what you can do. If you can afford to outsource it, then that's fine, which is why I think that it's great to start a business while you have a job and you have savings and money on the side, because sometimes it gets overwhelming and you can easily outsource something even when the business is not at that stage yet to support you financially, to pay a staff or a freelancer or whatever. But let me talk about this from a kingdom perspective, right? Beyond you making these decisions and all of that, what is God actually telling you to do? What is your purpose? Is this something you're meant to be doing, or did you veer off on your own path and decide to do it, and that's why maybe your mind is no longer there? You have got to spend time with your God to understand, what am I supposed to be doing? Why am I here? How can I do this? How can I do that? That is how you get clarity as well, because I can give you all of the strategies, but you need to go back and ask God, what is my purpose? What am I doing? Am I meant to, should I keep this business, or do I scrap it, go back to work, go back to the drawing board and start again? But while we're thinking about that, I want you to have the scripture at the back of your head. It's Jeremiah 29 verse 13. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. Because there is one thing I know: when you're trying to find God, when you're trying to know who He is and all of that, you will find who you are. While you're trying to make all of these decisions, as you're going back to the drawing board, let us go back to the altar, to your quiet time, and ask God, what exactly is it that He wants you to do? And honestly, you will find those answers. Don't worry, you will find those answers. Just consistently be there and commune and fellowship with your Father. Now, here's the reset that I want to leave you with as I wrap up. Whether you decide to consistently go at this business and see that it's a success, or you decide to close it down and go back to a 9 to 5, I want you to understand this: there is no easier pathway. Some form of work, some form of sacrifice is required, no matter the door you decide to march through. The key thing, and I say this in almost every video because I believe it, is that you don't do it alone. Take it to God and ask Him what He wants you to do, and use your own conviction as well, and decide and just go for it. Whatever it is that you're doing, take action, show up consistently. You will get the results that you want at some point. Don't try to white knuckle this in isolation. So chasing purpose and building more, trying to live the extraordinary life that you desire, comes with its own price tag. But so does staying broke. I mean, that's its own price tag. It's also very hard. So the choice is yours at the end of the day. Choose wisely. Do you want to live an extraordinary life, or do you want to live a life of mediocrity? Guess what? Living an extraordinary life is not only for entrepreneurs. It's for anybody who commits to doing the thing that they were put here to do and doing their assignment diligently. Whatever it is, choose wisely and just go tunnel vision, tunnel focus. Anyway, if you've watched me to this point and you're like, listen, I have a challenge that I'm going through, send me your letter down below. And other than that, I am building a community here. This is called Hello Misola, and we as immigrants, we're not going to live in mediocrity. We're going to live an extraordinary life, and we're going to fulfill our purpose while we're here and change our money stories as well. This is the community I'm building, and I would love for you to be a part of it. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Like this video so that the algorithm knows what it needs to do, and share the video as well. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.